Hi everyone, I'm Gemma Kubrims and welcome to review of everything you ever wanted to know about Silence, the debut record by the band Glassjaw. Today we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. Back in 2000-2001 I was watching Jackass on TV, then I've changed the channel, and there was Glassjaw, like, playing Pretty Lush. I'm not sure if it was a music video or a live performance. I was like 4 at the time, I was like, this is amazing. And a couple months later, my sister had that compilation with bands like Dry Logic, Chimera, Spineshank, and there was Glassjaw on it with Modern Love Story, you know, Youth of Today's cover. I listened through it and I was like, this is amazing. I didn't connect the dots at the time that it was the same band that did Pretty Lush, but I've asked her if she had some of their albums and she said she did not, but she had a friend who'd like go on Napster or somewhere and just, you know, download stuff. He brought the first CD, this one, Everything I Ever Wanted to Know About Science, on a burnt CD to our home, and I listened to it and I was like, this is amazing. And that's how I became a Glassjaw fan. Years later, in 2008, when I finally got the internet, I've checked out Worship and Tribute and all of their other releases, you know, Elmark EP, the Dan Fury sessions, all of that stuff. So let's focus on Glassjaw, because the band started in 1993 by two friends. We've got both of them here, so it's Justin Beck on the guitar. I think he played on the drums before the guitar. We've got Dar on the vocals, we also have Manuel on the bass and Todd Weinstock on the guitar and Sammy Sigler on the drums. He also played on Limp Bizkit 50 record, I think, or the fourth one, you know, the Unquestionable Truth Part 1. Those two dudes are basically the most important figures in Glassjaw. They are the only constant members. And what can I tell you, Glassjaw released some demos and EPs in the 90s, then they've met Dan Fury and started recording their debut record, but for some reason the sessions fell apart. Like, in this year, 2025, they released a vinyl of Dan Fury sessions, but not all of the songs, like half of the tracks are missing. I am not sure why. Later, Russ Robinson, a famous producer who did records with Korn, Limp Bizkit, Vanilla Ice, Machine Head, well, he met Glassjaw and he was like very impressed with their music. At the time he was only doing nu metal bands, and he was like, Glassjaw is interesting because it has hardcore in it, it has post-hardcore, it has lots of different influences, and he wanted to slightly break out of the nu metal bubble, like to start producing bands from different genres. So he brought in At the Drive-In and Glassjaw and recorded the record with them. Some of the songs here are like re-recordings from the tracks that were already out in 97-98 on other EPs, or like the Dan Fury sessions, like Pretty Lush, When 1-8 Becomes 2 Zeros, Rarest Songs, or however pronounce that. Those songs were already like written 2-3 years prior. So I presume there's only 6 new songs here, and as you can see, 3 of them have writing credits by Russ Robinson as well. The production is tight, it's clean but heavy, no noticeable, no clipping, just the way I act. I love how Russ Robinson basically produces all of the stuff, how it sounds so fresh and natural, like the band is just playing the studio and he just captures the best moments, the best performances. It's how it sounds, it's like how it always sounded when Russ was doing that. So yeah, kudos to production, love it. Some mistakes are thrown in on the record and he just does not care, like you can hear them and just go in. Sometimes the vocalist sings and they just do not cut out his breathing like I do. Right now I'm breathing like and I'm not cutting that out, and they did not do it here as well. Normally you want the production to be more clear, more no mistakes, there cannot be any human element, but here we just did not give a fuck, and I do stand by it, I do enjoy it. Next we've got The Message. This is like a concept album about women who wronged the vocalist and his friends. Almost every song is about an ex-girlfriend or someone who like betrayed the vocalist or his friend, you know, either by basically having sex with someone else or by betraying their trust. So it's very relatable because probably every person on this earth had like 1 or 2 situations like that, like we've met such people. And well, I don't understand why there was such a big controversy about the message of this record, like how it's misogynistic or something like that. I don't agree with that. If you think that calling out people who basically stab you in the back, betray you emotionally or physically, and that's misogyny, then I cannot help you, no. I was raped and abused by one of my ex-girlfriends, and I can call her a piece of shit and a monster, and it does not make me a misogynist. So that's what I believe in. I stay by those principles, and I think that the band Glassjaw should have not apologized. He's not calling women, like slurs, he's calling that person. The gender does not matter here. What matters is who betrayed you, who stabbed you in the back. In this case, it was a woman and her actions should be condemned. So yeah, that's what I stand on. If you don't enjoy that, like, give me a dislike and leave this video right now. So now let's move on to the structure. It's between basic and advanced. Usually we've got an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. Sometimes it's more advanced like that, where they add pre-verse sections, some rearranging is happening, where they'll do the pre-chorus after the chorus, something like that. Nothing fancy, this is not technical death metal, but the structures do seem interesting, even if half of the songs just follow that typical structure, you know, that I've just talked about here. Now let's move on to the music genre. So this is going to be very controversial because Glassjaw is like a most respectable post-hardcore band. Like, they've influenced so many musicians, and that's true, it cannot be denied. This is a post-hardcore release, but it's also a nu metal release, and I've noticed so many people on the internet getting annoyed by it. Like, there's nothing nu metal about them, blah, blah, blah. Have you heard the song Siberian Kiss? Or Love Bites and Razor Lines? Or I don't know, like Motel of the White Locust? Have you heard more than 5 nu metal albums in your life? This sounds like Korn actually, like Siberian Kiss, the guitar riffs, the crazy vocals. This is like a mix between Korn and Slipknot. Half of this album is nu metal and there's nothing you can do about it. That's just reality. You have to accept it or just move on. So yeah, this is like an interesting mixture of post-hardcore and nu metal, and it became a classic record, and I do enjoy that, especially because of how the vocals sound. They're very emotional, same as on the first releases in the nu metal genre. You know, Jonathan Davis was very emotional. He was singing, screaming, shouting, yelling, growling on the first 3 records. You can feel that, and the same thing is happening here because Russ Robinson, his mother was like a psychologist, and he uses those powers to get the best takes out of the vocalists by basically making them sing and scream about their biggest failures or things that they want to talk about, to make the songs honest and impactful. Now let's talk about the musicianship on this release. Let's start with the drummer. I love his groove, the style, the precision of his playing. It's all here and it's fantastic, even if sometimes he does a little mistakes here and there, but it's all on point, I must say. Like, I have nothing against the drumming. Next is the bass. It's audible, it mostly follows the guitar, sometimes the bassist goes off on his own, and that's very nice. On the next releases it's going to be even more interesting, you know, bass wise, but here it's fine. The guitarist Justin Beck is straight up killing it. I love his crazier, heavier, punchier riffs. These are very nostalgic ones, melodic, but also some eerie nu metal riffs here and there. The dissonant noises in the background, the ear, like at the end of Pretty Lash and Siberian Kiss, etc. It's like on half of the songs, and I do enjoy it. So there's lots of variety in the guitar department, and that's very important, and it stays in your head, it's memorable. We also have some other instruments here, like a piano that is played on the hidden track Relisten. So that's also really nice, like it enriches the overall experience of the record. Last but not least, let's talk about the vocal performance by Darrow. I think it's superb. I love his singing, shouting, yelling, screaming, all of that stuff. It stays in your head, it's memorable, it's emotional, it's impactful. Every vocal line here means something, and you can truly feel that. You can feel it in your soul, you know, the screams, the pain, the anguish, and the anger, all of those emotions. Like, it's all real, and I just love all of it. Now let's talk about the individual tracks. The album opens up with Pretty Large, which you can actually watch on this channel because I did a guitar cover of it a couple of years ago. This one is a classic. It's the first Glassjaw song I've ever heard. One of my favorites. I love the guitar riff, do, the vocals. You can lead her to water, and you can bet children and follow order. Yeah, the chorus is great. I love the second verse. Tonight I'm going to a party, but I guess it's already started without me. I love the lyrics here, the power in them, the bridge section with the screaming, the emotions, all of that stuff, the groove of the song, the drumming, the bass lines. Yeah, this is a classic one. It prepares you for what the album is, which is a wild ride. 11 out of 10. Siberian Kiss. This song is one of my favorites. Love the nu metal guitar riffs here and there. Anger, the passion, the drumming, the intensity of their screams. I just love that he goes off after the first minute, like just screaming in the background. Like you can feel all of that. Yeah, the beautiful singing. A hiccup in paradise. I can meet you soon. Something like that. I don't remember the exact lyrics, but on phone lines and letterhead, I'm thinking about. Love all of it. Just what else can I say? You know, check this one out. You're going to have a great time, and the lyrics are actually quite interesting. Go check them out as well. 11 out of 10. When 1-8 becomes 2 zeros. So this song, actually, I prefer the Dan Fury version more, but the album one also slaps. I feel like this one has a weaker vocal performance and overall tone, but still it does not change the fact that this song is a powerhouse. Love all of the guitar riffs, the bass lines, the drumming, the melodies, the chorus. Yeah, while it's not as good as the first two songs on the record, it's still a banger. 10 out of 10. Riri's songs, Riri's song, I still don't know how to pronounce this one. It's a classic. The lyrics actually make me mad and also sad at the same time. You know that one dude had to go through all of this, like he was treated that badly by his girlfriend, and then I remember that I was in a worse relationship and the person I was with should be in jail right now, but sadly she's not. This one, love the vocal performance, the chorus, the overall tongue-in-cheek vibe when it comes to the lyrics, the vibe of the track, you know, it sounds sarcastic, but you can feel that there's anger brewing underneath it, so love all of that. Again, I feel like the Dan Fury version was slightly better, but this one still slaps. 10 out of 10. Love Bites and Razor Lines. This one helped me a lot when I was a teenager, like 12-15 years ago. Love the screaming, the anger, the shouting, the passion. The lyrics are very honest, and yeah, I agree with them. There are women like that. You cannot do anything about it. Just there, you just have to focus your attention on normal people, like normal women. I love who you fucking know. I love the second verse yet again because it's just like a nu metal bomb dropped on your head. It reminds me so much of the first Korn record, you know, songs like Bolton, for example. It has that vibe to it, especially the screaming. Love this one so much. Yeah, it's one of the highlights. And then the more beautiful singing happens. I know a girl who sells herself around, and I'm sure that one day she'll sell autographs in your town. Something like that. 11 out of 10. Hurting and Shoving, and this is the second song with Russ Robinson's input on. This one is chaos, like it's so heavy, so much screaming and passion. I love that very long scream in the middle of the song. It just goes off and on like for 10-15 seconds. This one is a banger, but I don't feel like it's on the same level as everything before it. It's perfect, don't get me wrong, but I guess it's a little bit too chaotic for me. Still a classic song, lots of nu metal vibes here for sure. 10 minus out of 10. Major. This one, I think it's also a re-recording from Dan Fury sessions. I might be wrong, you can correct me in the comment section. I love the vocal performance here, the overall vibe of this song. This one has no nu metal influences, so you can rest easy if you hate nu metal. So Major is great, I love everything about it. 10 out of 10. Her middle name was Boom. This song is the weakest one on the album. I do enjoy the vocal performance, but music-wise, it does not grab me. It did not grab me when I first heard the record, and after hearing this one thousands of times, I'm still like, it's a good, competent song, but everything else just smokes it, you know? Everything else is just on a whole different level. 7 out of 10. Piano. This one, I love the first 2 minutes, you know, the beginning, the scream, wow, and then the verse. I only beat you when I'm drunk, you're only pretty when you're crying. It's funny to me that I still remember the lyrics to this one. Yeah, the verses slap, then the song undergoes a change in the second part. Less nu metalish, I would say. It's way different, but I still do enjoy everything about it, especially the first part of the song, you know, the first 2 minutes, the vocals, the melodies here, the bass, the drumming. It's simple but effective. 10 out of 10. Babe, this is the heaviest song on the record with Hurting and Shoving. I love the hardcore atmosphere this one has. Yeah, it sounds demented. This one has no nu metal vibes, I would say. It's just straight up hardcore punk era track with lots of screaming. Love the passion behind this one, the lyrics, all of that. It's short but sweet, 10 plus out of 10. Now the title song, Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Silence. It's a track about Crohn's disease, which sadly plagues the vocalist, like he's sick because of it. And I must say that this is the best track by far on this release. It's so emotional, you can feel every line like in your heart. It makes me cry, you know, I've cried so many times because of this song, especially the last line, you know. I'm digging a hole, I shout out the word, this is what it's like to be alone, this is what it's like to be alone. So it's very relatable. And as you can see, I've already became depressed because I just thought about the song, but yeah, the melodies here, very nu metal, you know, the atmosphere. It sounds like a standard final track on a nu metal album, you know, kinda like Iowa or Scissors or My Gift to You or Daddy or Kill You, you know, all of that stuff. I'm actually quite surprised that this is not the final song on the record, because it has a vibe of a closure, like there shouldn't be anything after it. Maybe it's just me, maybe you think otherwise, it just feels like that. So yeah, that burning feeling, red liquids, clear liquids, blessed are the sick, children shiver in the river. Where is our God now? Does he watch over all in a scandal? He don't lie when so he's just screaming. Yeah, I love all of that. This is like a legendary song that anybody should listen like once in their lifetimes. 12 out of 10. And the final song, Motel of the White Locust. This one brings back the intensity, some of the nu metal vibes on the guitar. I love it, the screaming, the shouting. Who could ever, who could fucking ever? This is what you want, this is what you want. I love that final screaming. Get up on your knees and make me a god. I love that part so much. It's so passionate, so emotional, so heavy. And yeah, that final line, pack your shit and leave, that repeats all of the time. It became a staple. I think Straight from the Path used it on their final song, on their record Subliminal Criminals. I remember hearing that line on their album. This one's so much fun. It's also very heavy and honest, and that's what truly matters. 10 plus out of 10. We also have a hidden track, Listen. This one is like a piano and the vocals just singing. The amount of love you wish to give is more than I can stand. That's like my favorite line from the song. I also love how he says fuck you. Like, it's so positive sounding. If you're not an English speaker, for example, English is my third language, but my friend cannot speak English, so he listens to this song and he thinks it's romantic. It's not. It's really not. And I don't have the heart to tell him that, because he'll be like Wah! So yeah, Lost, and this is a perfect hidden track. They've played this one back in 2010, the whole band, so it has guitars, bass and drums. Check it out, it's on YouTube. It's also a fantastic version. This one also slaps. What else can I say? 10 plus out of 10. So the entire record was a positive journey, and now we have the 2009 remaster by Roadrunner. So Roadrunner and the band Glassjaw hate each other because they did not care, they did not promote the band enough, and well, you know, the animosity, etc, etc. Roadrunner for some reason released a remaster, which is like not needed because the production was already great, and they've added 2 songs here, Modern Love Story and Convict Tuso. And the band was like against this remaster. They were like, please do not buy it, just steal the music, like download the MP3, etc. So yeah, that's how they hate each other, which is actually, you know, quite understandable. You write all of these songs, you want people to hear them all over the world, and your label is not supporting you. That's not a cool thing to do, like not at all. But let's rate the bonus tracks either way. So Modern Love Story, the second song I've heard from Glassjaw. I prefer this cover over the original because of the intensity, the emotions, the funny vocals. That line is so funny to me. This is what I say. Modern Love Story, shut up. So yeah, this is a short song, but it's so much fun. And it actually does work well with the concept of the record. 10 out of 10. And Convectuoso, so this is a demo track. At the time it was not finished and the band wanted to end their second release, Worship and Tribute, with this song, but Roadrunner forbid it. Like they said nope. So only the advanced copies, I think, had Convectuoso, and then after years and years of legal battles, etc., is finally added to the official tracklist, so now it ends the second album. And it's also here on the remaster. This version, I feel the demo one, is not as good as the final cut, because the vocalist like haven't prepared all of the lyrics, so he sometimes just repeats the stuff, or he's just not singing at all, or he asks the other band, are we coming here right now? So you can hear that on the demo. So I don't know why I feel like it shouldn't even be released, because while it does sound great, it's unfinished, and I am not sure if the band wanted people to hear this version. Maybe that's why they were so pissed off with Roadrunner, you know. So 8 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is fitting durability. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. I enjoyed this record from beginning to the end. It doesn't have any weak songs, just one good track, her middle name was Boom. Everything else is above your expectations. Pretty Lush, Siberian Kiss, When 1-8 becomes 2 zeros, Love Bites and Razor Lines, Piano, Babe, the title song, Motel of the White Locust, Lost, and these are my favorite tracks here by far. I just love all of them so much. Even the other songs, like everything that has like 10 out of 10 right here, I've heard like millions of times. The lyrics slap, nothing hateful here, it's just a person hurt by a monster, that's how I feel like. And yeah, the music, the guitar riffs, the bass lines, the arrangements, everything, the production, it all shines through. Nowadays, from what I've heard, there's been like a podcast where the vocalists said that they were not proud with this album and that they actually prefer the Dan Fury sessions, like it's a more honest version of the band than what happened here, because apparently Ross Robinson did some changes here that the band is not happy nowadays. But this is actually quite weird to say after almost 25 years, like you could have said that to him when you were recording the album. Yeah, I actually like this album a lot. I love the production, I love Ross Robinson. Without him, we probably wouldn't have such great vocal takes out of Daryl, because Ross Robinson always gets in your head and like pokes you and makes the vocals came up with crazy shit. Even vocals that are not that great make better music when Ross Robinson is involved. For example, Vanilla Ice. Like Vanilla Ice, can you even take him seriously? But his album with Ross Robinson actually sounds pretty great, which is astonishing. Love this one a lot. Celebrate University by spending it today. It deserves your love and attention. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, links in the description. Write down in the comments what do you think about everything you ever wanted to know about Silence. Do you love it as me? Maybe you hate some of the songs, maybe you love them more. Tell me if you enjoyed the production, maybe you don't like it, maybe you prefer the Dan Fury sessions. I don't agree with that statement. The Dan Fury sessions are great and some of the versions of the tracks here are weaker than the Dan Fury ones, but still I prefer this album way more. Probably because I love nu metal, that might be the case here. Shout out to all of my patrons who gracefully sponsor these videos, you are all truly wonderful. If you want, you can join them so I can make more videos like this one. I love reviewing stuff, it's just hard to find the time for it. So that's it, wishing you a great day, see you next time, bye!